Hey guys, Andy here with another head-to-head for you today. On the left we have my Huawei Mate 20 Pro, which has a high silicon Kirin 980 chipset, which is the 7nm chipset, which means it should be more efficient. It has an octa-core CPU, it's got a Mali G76 MP10 GPU, and it has 6GB of RAM. That's going up against the Pixel 3 XL on the right hand side with the Snapdragon 845, a 10nm chipset, octa-core processor as well, an Adreno 630 GPU, and this time 4GB of RAM. So hopefully it will be quite an interesting test. I mean, it's not all about the specs and the raw power, because I'll be testing GPS, screen brightness, fingerprint sensors, and all those kind of things as well. We'll kick things off with the fingerprint sensor. The Huawei obviously having the in-screen fingerprint sensor, but surprisingly, it beats the Pixel 2. Now you have to kind of have the screen. We don't have to have the screen half awake, but it's easy for me to do the test. I need to see where I've got to put my finger basically. This time I don't wake the screen, and it still beats it. So I have to say I'm quite surprised. The Mate 20 Pro wins the fingerprint sensor test, and we will move on to Angry Birds opening test. I think the Huawei is out in the lead at the moment, and it is. It's in first. But this is a best of three situation, so I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, but trust me, they started at the same time, and this time the Pixel 3 XL pips the Huawei. That's just to show you I'm clearing all apps before each run. So this is the decider. It's 1-1 at the moment. It's still looking very close, but I think we do have to give that to the Huawei. So not a lot in it, not a big difference, but the Huawei does take it. Now this time I normally switch over to the benchmarking, but I don't know if there's an issue with Geekbench. I've got a connection, it's worked, I checked it on different things. I am giving this to the Huawei still. I don't. You can try and call me biased if you like, but I know that it benchmarks a lot higher. I have got Geekbench running, so that one does go to the Mate 20 Pro. Outdoors for the GPS test, and I'm making a little bit of a hash of this if I'm honest. I'm trying to kill all apps and then reopen again. Here we go. The Huawei opens a bit quicker, has a lock pretty much instantly. The Pixel 3 XL not far behind it, not quite as accurate, and this one's going to have to go to the Huawei Mate 20 Pro as well. We're going to head back indoors to test the speakers. Both devices have stereo speakers, so I'm quite interested to see how this one turns out. We've got my decibel meter ready to measure the volume.
Tell me where to go, tell me what to do, I'll be right there for you. Tell me what to say, no matter if it's true, I'll say it all for you. Tell me where to go, tell me what to do, I'll be right there for you. Tell me what to say, no matter if it's true, I'll say it all for you.
I used to be the type of kid that would always think the sky is falling. Why am I so differently wired? Try and solve them. I'm outside chalking up drawings on the sidewalk and in the front drive talking to my apartment complex on a 10-speed, which I've acquired parts that I find in the garbage. A frame and put tires on it. It's on it, headphones on it, straight ahead. Kids try and start this, but if this is all there is for me, like.
To me, I don't know how well that's coming across, but the Pixel is a lot louder. I mean, I think the meter shows it's kind of 5 decibels higher, but let's try spoken voice.
Essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance. It also overturned a lot of the rules and laws, and now we're in the situation. Essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance. It also overturned a lot of the rules and laws.
We covered the fact that Google and other social network providers and search engine providers are being overwhelmed, quite frankly, with inquiry. And the challenge is I'm sure some of those inquiries are legitimate inquiries. The problem is that the government cries.
So I think that's reasonably apparent that the Pixel 3 XL has the better stereo speakers, both by volume and I think generally by how they sound as well. So we'll move on now to the screen brightness test. I'm going to turn off adaptive brightness on both of them and crank the levels right up. I've got my pure white image ready to go. Let me see there again, massive notch of the Pixel 3 XL. So the Mate 20 Pro touches up in the 640s. The Pixel 3 XL 696 I saw there as a peak, and again 697 even. So whilst they're both good, the Pixel 3 XL does appear to have about 60 or so lumens on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. So that one goes to the Pixel 3 XL. We're moving on to the final test, is the browser test. Again, it's a best of 3 situation. I will start off with the BBC website on both devices, and I will try, oh, where's the keyboard gone? I will try and select them both at the same time. Oh, that's just the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. We're moving on to the second test, and I felt that's a dead heat, surely. Could you see a difference in that? I'm going to have to go to sort of frame by frame perhaps to decide who took that one. So the decider being The Verge. Oh wow, so I'm not even going to mark that one. I think that's a tie. They're both, because I think the Pixel 3 XL took The Verge, the final one, so it was 1 and 1 basically. Both devices nice and slick and smooth, no issues in that respect. So I think that's quite an interesting comparison. I mean, if you look at just the results, you looked at just the headline, yeah, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro smashes the Pixel 3 XL. But actually, if you've been watching those results, for one, the fingerprint sensor, I know the Huawei was quicker. It's actually really quite unreliable. So you could argue that you could almost remove that fingerprint sensor. Like it 3.2. Your Angry Birds 2 went down to the decider. It was really very close. Geekbench 4, yeah, that was definitely. The GPS, yeah, the Huawei won, but again, it was very close. The Pixel 3 had much stronger speakers, and the screen brightness, there was not a huge amount. So I guess what I'm saying is actually a really close test, and we shouldn't be swayed by the 4-2 final result. Either way, I think they're both very good devices with their own sort of unique selling points, really. But I don't know, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments down below. For now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fellow that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also, come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum if you've got any questions about things, or request me to review things, or anything else. Just come and have a chat on the forum.